everybody. I have a chance to share this class with all of you. So back there, could you guys hear me?
Hello.
In the back?
Could you hear? Can you hear?
Vivian, could you hear me?
Up to you.
Could you hear me? Yeah. Okay, good. If you cannot hear me, just let me know. Okay, Eric, you can hear me, right? Okay. So last session we did mention about. You still remember last session? You guys still remember last session what we talked about?
We talk about when the 17th
Thank
teacher
you.
was testing. Okay, who is the next candidate that is good enough to receive the mandate? Who will become the 18th patriarch?
All right.
Remember the buns? That's what we were up to.
Yeah, a lot of testing. Okay. So anyway, so everybody think they are the leader. They qualify for that. So they ask to give the answer. Okay. So our 17th patriarch, the same writing ask God and in sure God tell. God was so mad because all the leader only care about who is the predecessor, the 18th predecessor. So God said, no, everybody has the heaven mandate. So all the leaders just go out and act as they are the leader. Okay? Only our 18th patriarch was thinking about that's not possible to have so many predecessors, right? So many of them. Each province, a couple of provinces has a leader. No, mainland China is so big, and there are so many predecessors. That's not possible. So only our holy teacher, he has the wisdom, and he did not do anything. Okay, he was waiting for 100 days. So God gave the guidance, says only the Guan Yin, okay, our 18th patriarch's sister substitutes
17th patriarchs.
17th patriarch, thank you, Jin. 17th sister, that's Guan Yin, Lady Buddha, reborn. So she substitutes for 12 years. So no any leader become patriarch. Okay, so that's kind of a transition period because both our 18th patriarchs are so young, and those senior people they don't it's not the moment they will listen yet. Okay, so all of the House member feel. Since old time, there's no such thing. The couple become, a female and the male become a wife and a husband to cultivate that. Okay, with the name, so they feel it's not right. It's incorrect. So a lot of people they criticize and they did not want to cultivate that. Okay, could you picture that? Right? Okay. All right. In especially holy teacher, he has a real wife, and this wife, how did he get this wife? It's called cause and effect, because more than 1,000 years ago, when holy teacher he was a monk, and there's a lady, her family was so rich, and she wanted a best husband in the whole world. So she put a pond, outside of her house, and whoever can match her pond will become her husband. So in other words, she was looking for a very talented husband. Okay, so that time when our holy teacher he always wander around and see who need help, right? That time, and he saw the poem, and he say, this person is so eager to find a husband, a good husband. Why not cultivate the Tao instead of looking for husband? Okay, so he put the poem, just match whatever she said. Okay, that's Chinese word. So, and then this lady say, "Wow, who is so talented? The poem matches so well." So she wanted this guy so bad, right? Too bad he's a monk. She cannot marry him. But the requirement is that whoever can match, do the talented poem, you have to marry me. Okay, we have to get married. So that lifetime, sure, they did not get married, right? You cannot marry a monk, right? Doesn't matter how handsome, wisdom he is, they cannot get married. So that lifetime, they did not get married. Guess what? 1,000 years later, recent years, right? Maybe 45 years ago, they got married. The cause effect is so serious. So this is very important concept. Hello. Very important concept. Don't make it a cause and effect. Even thousands of years ago, a holy teacher, he cultivated Tao so well, but some years later, he has to pay back because he planted the seed, become like that. A holy teacher saved a lot of sentient beings, right? But 1,000 years later, he still have to pay back. So end up he get married with his wife. Okay, 1,000 years later. In that time, by God's order, these two transmitters, the 18th patriarch, they have to cultivate, spread the Tao together. Okay, so as a husband and wife, but they are not real husband and wife, just the name. Okay, and what does that mean? Because that means the female can cultivate Tao too. Okay, even you have a family, you have a husband, you still can cultivate together. That's what the heavens want us to realize. But during that time, back then, more than 70 years ago, in China, the female, is a kind of a quiet, low-key, and stay home, take care of the family. They don't go out and show up, those kind of things. So a lot of Taoist members couldn't accept, they cultivate together. And also the 18 patriarch, that position is so high. How could a low position like a female get this position? So Taoist member, a lot of male, they couldn't accept that. So some of them, they just quit, they left the temple. All right? So it's something happened like that. It's a very, very big testing. Okay? But when whatever we are doing match heaven's meaning, it's very easy to do. If we against heaven's will, then it's very hard to continue on. So even our 18th patriarch, they couldn't accept this too. Okay? So our matriarch, she always guide her member, and they go to other province to spread the Tao. But somehow they always meet together. Okay, both of them, patriarch and matriarch, no matter where they go, they always meet each other. And patriarch say, "How come you are here?" Because by God's willing, they will together. Just show us, even female can cultivate, like a husband and the wife. They can cultivate Tao too. All the female can cultivate Tao. Since ancient time, all time, couple thousand years ago, no female cultivate Tao. Okay, like right now, so popular. So all of our female, we should feel so precious. In this lifetime, we should become a Buddha too. Everybody agree? Okay. So I listened to one lesson, Tian'an Temple in Taiwan, very big, and their predecessor, because that time they are together with our matriarch and the patriarch. So he said during that time our matriarch is so feels so bad because unmarried lady and right now suddenly becomes somebody's wife, and that time is not accepted to the public. Okay, even they are not the real husband and the wife. So she feels so terrible because this like your name will become no good in public. Okay, cool. So everybody understand this kind of situation in China, right? Okay, so she did try to she bumped her head to the wall. Okay, this not in the book because he knows. So she said our matric has a scar here. She tried to. She feels so shameful. She's she's a unmarried lady and son become her. She has a husband, so she couldn't accept it also. So she tried to. She was so painful, and everybody gave her the very very bad comment. So she suffered from that. And one day. Our 17th patriarch already passed away, right? And he told them, today, everybody has to go to, because they tried to spread it out, and they say, he said that everybody go to 17th patriarch's house. You have to sleep over in his house. And our matriarch, because he has to listen, right? Listen to 17th patriarch. So end up she did not want to, but she had to. And right now the problem comes because our patriarch's wife couldn't accept that. So she scolded at her, at the matriarch, very badly. Say, this is my husband, you cannot get my husband, right? So something happened, the whole night our matriarch was crying, she did not sleep the whole night. And second morning they went to other province to spread it out. But our patriarch wife did not want her husband to go out with our matriarch, okay, and allow those members. So what happened to her? Her hands was sitting on her back. It can never go to the front. Her back. 这样英文讲对吗? Okay? Her hand was like this. Yes. Okay?
The real one.
Her hands was just like this, and cannot move for 1 month. 1 month, because she stopped our patriarch to spread it out. Cannot go anywhere with magic. Okay, so her hand cannot move, cannot do anything for 1 month. So somebody knows the situation. Just told her, you cannot against God's willing. Against God's willing. Okay? Okay? And then finally she accepted, because think about no matter what happened, our hands is like this. Can never move, cannot eat, right? So she has to accept, this is God's willing. Our 18th patriarch and the matriarch propagate doubts together, spread doubt together, work together. So nobody can stop them. So a lot of some Taoist members, they have a wisdom. They know, this is real. This is really from heaven. Okay? So a lot of them, some of them, stay with them. And since then, the Tao spread quickly in China. Okay? All right. So again, from this, we can learn whatever we match heaven's willing, everything will be very smoothly. Okay, no problem at all. But if we against God's willing, that is really bad. Okay. All right. And okay. So they have a lot of Taoist members since then. Okay. And they have one governor. He in charge the sword. Back like 100 years ago, that time the sword is very expensive in China. Sword, very very expensive. So this governor, he received Tao, okay, and he was so sincere. But too bad that his wife did not want him to go to temple. It's happened to a lot of people too, right? So this is a head testing. So somebody report to anyway his leg was burned by the boiled water. Okay, so he visited a lot of doctors, but nobody can cure him. So somebody report to matriarch. So matriarch asked talented, has the same writing. Okay, so that day our holy teacher came, and the scriptures just told him, you have to cultivate Tao sincere. Okay, and then how to cure the leg? It's very easy. Just put the holy water on the paper and put on the leg, and then somebody say, hey, holy teacher, he cannot even walk around. He had an injured belly, and he cannot go out and ask people to receive Tao. Teacher put the paper there, and interesting thing was it's like a magic. This governor can walk right away. So he went outside and asked all the governor, that's more than 300 people, to receive Tao. And his leg was perfect, no problem. The skin go back to normal. All right? Again, this tells us when we listen to our holy teacher, listen and do whatever heaven asks us to do. Everything will be good. Right? We have a lot of experience. Some of Tao's members got very sick, but they always come to the temple and cultivate Tao and ask people to receive Tao. So, heaven take care of them too. Right? Yeah. 是不是讲是要 share 你的 story 吗？ No, he didn't. He didn't. Do you mind?
I have leukemia, CML, chronic myeloid leukemia. Is not the worst. It is also very uncommon. So I was diagnosed 17 years ago. And as soon as I was diagnosed, a new medication just came into the market and got approved by the FDA about 2 or 3 days before I was diagnosed. And that medication is only for my type of leukemia. Not common, a rare form, okay? So it was like God sent, okay? So why? When you think about it, why? Because before I was diagnosed, 11 years previous to that, every Sunday I'm here, every single Sunday, doing what? To hand out the towels when we come in, because we used to hand out towels. So that's what I did for 11 years. Okay, every single Sunday. So everything depends on the sincerity of our heart and mind. Okay, if you give heaven 30%, heaven will reward you with the 70%. Okay, so up to today, it's 17 years for me already. Okay, where other people who did not receive the Tao, there was one Tao member, a lady, her husband was diagnosed with the same illness at the same time, took the same medication, it did not work on him. Okay, he went for one transplant, it still did not work. The second transplant, he passed away. Okay, so remember this is 17 years ago. Okay, so why me and not him? Because I gave heaven 11 years of my Sundays, every single Sunday. That's the difference. Okay, so if you have time, you give 30%, they will reward you with 70%. That's all. A very simple thing to do. Not bad, right? See?
It's very good, not just not bad. See, even the doctor cannot cure.
I'm still under the medication. Yeah. Only 5 to 7% that takes it will be effective, and I'm one of them. Yeah. Even though I get a lot of side effects, but hey, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
See, I'm registered nurse and also the IT software engineer. In the 10 years ago, anyway, I uplift my mother. All right, so I have my own big karma and my mother too. After I uplift my mother, a few months later, I got serious, very very serious car accident. All right, that's one time and anyway, make the story short, that's why I received out. I say, why thousands the cars only I got picked up? Must be some reason, right? So that's why some people approach me and I received out. I say, I want to say thank you, but I don't know who to thank. But that time I did not get any, only my car was, left side was totally mashed. And the car go, phew. The huge truck hit me. That, okay? And that's why I received out. But after I uplift my mother, only not even 6 months later, because I don't have enough merit to cover my own big karma in my mother's. So my mother passed away, I have to uplift. This heaven's special treatment to all of the Tao's members. We can uplift our parents to heaven, to permanent heaven.
Meaning she take on her mom's karma and she save her mom's soul from the underworld to the absolute heaven.
Yeah, permanent heaven.
But she has to carry her mom's karma because somebody has to pay back. So that is why she got into the accident.
Yeah. So my
Spinal cord.
yeah, this one came out.
The disc was dislocated.
The neck,
Yeah.
and my over here came out too. So I got trouble. My neck couldn't hold my head. The head is too heavy. So that time I have to go out and talk to client, like a 9X in New York. I remember my hair has to go like this. But too heavy. Okay. Couldn't hold my head, and it's very very sore. In the blood circulation cannot go to your head. It's terrible, and then I cannot walk around. All right, I still remember because we moved to the new house, and we need to buy the curtain. I went to JCPenney, not even 10 minutes. I want to pass out. I was sitting on the floor. I couldn't walk around because this part, the disc goes out. I couldn't carry my daughter. My daughter's sitting there. Okay, I couldn't hold her. She always have to climb up when we go to buy the grocery. She had to climb up from my back to shopping cart. Okay, I couldn't carry the watermelon. I couldn't carry the milk, 1 gallon milk. I don't drink milk no more. All right, and I couldn't hold the knife. It's too heavy for me. The pie is too heavy too. The spring was too heavy. So a lot of things you cannot do. And that time I had to type the computer. That's killing me. I can sit down there and typing. No. So that time, because I know, again, like a gym. When you feel so uncomfortable, the only place that you want to go is temple. When I came here, when I bow, I feel so much better. And one time, our Hardy teacher in the Dharma class, he came, right? He knows I got problem, big problem. Because in the Dharma class, everybody sits still, right? Everybody sits still, no problem, right? You know how I sit? I sit like this because my neck couldn't support my head, and the lecturer said, "Come on, sit still," because I was the first chair there and face to temple. It's so ugly. You see something, sit down like this. But I couldn't help it. My head too heavy. I cannot hold my head, my neck. Okay, but see right now, I can walk around. You cannot tell I'm abnormal, right? My tendon still got problem because two experts. Okay, one was here this morning. He left, right? This morning he came here. Brother Lin. He is in Boston, I think. Boston, right? He saw me in another one nearby here from Taiwan. Okay, he was famous with treatment for the tendon, lost bone. He told me, he said, "Lady, are you working for Buddha? Because you're supposed to paralyze. If not the whole body, supposed to have. Should be paralyzed. Your condition, the discs were out. I don't think you can walk around. You must work for Lady Buddha or any Buddha. Otherwise, you cannot walk around." And the Taoist member, Brother Lin, told me this is a very serious tendon, injury. He said you got to take care of yourself and don't get into another car accident at all. Okay. So again, thank God, heaven too. For so many years, we have a chance to cultivate Tao. So I look normal, but actually I do have a problem. Okay. So in the company I really cannot walk around that time, but right now I can walk around, no problem at all. Okay. When we work for heaven, heaven will help us. Yeah, sure. This we have a lot of people has. Anybody want to share how heaven helped us? Anybody?
Everybody's shy.
Christian, you want to share? You have tons of story too. Huh?
I guess mine's not as serious as a health issue, but when I finished college, I had a hard time finding a job, and then I moved back home, and all the Buddhas had told me, you have to come to temple more and help more, and then the more I helped, I realized that when you are sincerely willing to help the Buddhas and help other people in they really do help us. So it's not just that you say that each person has their own miracle story, so it's like us to our individual. But for me, it was like the more I helped the Buddhas, I could see the happier our family got, and everything was just a little bit smoother in life.
Thank you. All right. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So we continue on. Okay. So because no. Okay. So the governor, because he is a famous person, so he make 300 people receive Tao, and these 300 people, as a lot of people receive Tao, so the Tao spread so quickly that time. Okay, so when everything we match God's willing, heaven's willing, it's so smooth. So even that time was World War II, but the Tao spread everywhere. All right, in China. Okay, and then one time patriarch that was thunderstorm, typhoon, and but they still have to cross the river. So that the boat almost flipped over the big wave, right? That day was thunderstorm, everything terrible. So then patriarch pray for God's forgiving, because they had and the help, because they need to cross the river, okay, to spread the Tao. And it's amazing, because all the fish, shrimp, okay, they all come to help the big wave. But all the fish and the shrimp and the ocean's animal, they come to help to make the boat not even the big wave, they're still steady. So save everybody's life in the boat. So they was able to cross the river and spread the Tao to other province. Okay, so is that amazing? So when patriarch say something, then all of the three realms, they have to listen. Even the fish, the shrimp, they all have to listen. Okay? Even one time patriarch said, why there's so many leaves on the roof? And guess what happened? As soon as he finished this sentence, the rain poured. The leaf come down to the floor. Okay, so when he says something, everyone has to listen. Right? Okay, so one time there's one Taoist member. He has the superpower. Okay, and a lot of people, a lot of the Taoist members say when we cultivate Tao, how come you don't teach us how to do the meditation and to gain the superpower? Okay, they ask a patriarch, and patriarch says, well, this is the first time, this is rerun, and this is the first time I cultivate, I manage the Tao, okay? And he say, if anybody like to pursue the superpower, let him go. Just leave, just go, okay? So a lot of people understand, wow, patriarch is different from ordinary people, totally different. So again, from here, we have to know, is a superpower what we are looking for? Everybody? When we cultivate Tao, do we ask for superpower?
Nope.
Yeah, the superpower, include like, hey, I know what is his thinking.
You can read people's mind.
Right.
That's also superpower.
Yeah. Okay? But, when we cultivate Tao, actually we do have a superpower. Look at all the saints. They do have a superpower. Yeah. Because our Buddha nature, when we cultivate very well, our 100% Buddha nature, we do have a superpower. Take a look at when Harley Chicho came, right? He does not have to turn around. He knows something on the board. I wrote something there. It's wrong. He knows. He did not have to use his eye to see what surrounding, what happened. Okay? So because, why? Anybody can explain why? Anybody knows why? Could anybody explain it?
How can you know?
The teacher don't need to use his eye to see.
Buddha nature was this awareness.
Because our Buddha nature is everywhere. They don't need to use only the eyes. They can see surrounding. Okay, they don't need the eye to see. Right, so I also like. I'm very impressed by the story about 玉明大仙, the sense of 玉明. Okay, he was a husband of Buddha Dehui. Okay, because he was a transmitter that time during the World War II, and he was so rich. He has a big company. So that time when our grand predecessor and the predecessor, they want to go to Taiwan to spread the Tao. But the transmitter, Yu Min, he couldn't come because he got stuck with his business, right? But he's so rich. He always give the gold, the brick, gold brick, right? You call that gold brick, brick of gold.
Gold nuggets.
Gold nuggets.
Now you call it nugget, but Chinese call brick, right?
Or bullion.
Bullion.
Yeah, big. And then always give the temple, financially support. Okay, that's why his name, sense of Yu Min. Yu means he's so rich, but he knows Tao so well. He support Tao. That's the name. What the name mean, right? Okay. In that time, World War II, he got because he was a transmitter. He sent his wife and the son to follow our grand predecessor to spread Tao because he was too busy. And he got captured by China's government. Okay, because that time they disagree a lot of God's willing. Okay, and he was in the jail. They put him in the jail. Why? They did not want a big group to against the government. Even they are not really against the government. So since he was a transmitter, they torture him, abuse him, and hit him. Want him to say out how many thousand members they had. Okay, so every day they gave him a hard time, beat him up, and even put a fire on burn his eye. Just want him to tell them how many thousand members he has. So his eyes got burned badly and become blind. But because his Buddha true nature was he can later on he can become he can see. He was blind, but his Buddha nature came out, so he can see everything. He can see who is coming, who is doing what, very well. He did not need the eyes. Okay, so he's in heaven now. Okay, because of Tao, he can sacrifice himself. And he did not want to tell the China government who is Tao's member, because they were put in the jail and torture them. Okay, that time, World War II. All right, so when our patriarch, when he visits Tao's member, if that's the lunchtime, he will eat a little bit, bang, wo Chinese means bang, right? Wo. I don't know. I never eat the wo. Steam bang? Steam bang? Sure, that's vegetarian. Okay, so he always eats something, and whoever follow him, he will tell everybody not to bother that Tao's member. They want to go to their house and visit them. So they always outside and eat. Okay, and at lunchtime they just don't want to bother anybody. Okay, that's the principle. Okay, and one time they visit this guy. He work on the island. Okay, the big fire, and he had to make a utility, right? Okay, so when Patrick arrived at his place, and he was surprised. Wow, the Patrick, the holy teacher, came, and he get nervous, and he just put the dirty towel because he sweat a lot. It's a very high temperature, right? He just hand to our Patrick to clean it. Look at it. It sweat a lot. Then he just hand. But our Patrick, he's a very very virtual person. He did not mind even it's dirty. Look so dirty, and he still take it and wipe his hand and the face. Could we do that? That's sweat and smelly and very dirty. All right, and then he want to give our holy teacher some water, but and the water is sure it's dirty too. Okay, but our teacher just drink it. All right, and he did not mind, So he's very high position. So he's just like a Buddha. Everybody's equal. He did not look down on anybody. Even the chair is so dusty, and this guy just want to use the towel our Patrick used before. Want to clean the chair, and he said, "Oh no, cannot do that." And he used his hand, go like that. Yeah, the sleeve. Okay, and it's still dirty, but our Patrick just sit down there. Okay, so in the sutra it says, the Buddha, they don't have me. Okay, 我相, the form of me.
No ego, no I.
Yeah, I am the high position. I look down on you. No, we are equal. So he does not mind, those kind, thing. So he's a very virtual person. So this guy respect him so much. So Patrick says, you have to cultivate Tao very well and make a lot of people receive Tao. So he did listen. He cultivated very well. Okay? And let's see. Okay. Okay, so that's one time everybody ask when will the middle Buddha, happy Buddha will reborn. Okay, like Jesus will show up again. Okay, and they want to know. So longevity sense says, all right, tomorrow you will see this person. He wears something with cane. Okay, so everybody was waiting there. They want to see the middle Buddha. Okay, hey, here comes the person, wear the same shoes, the same clothes, and with cane. So they're so happy. Hey, this is middle Buddha. All right, so they bring him to temple. And this old guy was so appreciated. He has never lived in the best place because he is homeless. Okay, and he wear terrible clothes, is broken, and they give him the very nice dress and offer them the very good vegetarian food, and they thought he's a middle Buddha. Okay, but then end up he said, why you guys treat me so well? I'm the homeless person. Okay, and then later on they realized he is really a homeless, not a middle Buddha. So let him go. So this means another testing from sense. We cannot be greedy. We want to see middle Buddha. Right? No, it's greedy. Okay? Anyway, no superpower, no greedy, and a lot of story, very, very, very good. Okay? So in 1940, right? 40, okay? Teacher knows he is going to report to heaven, all right? So he asked everybody to have a lesson. So he asked, hey, disciple, you all follow holy teacher, okay? if one day I'm gone, alright, who do we want to cultivate Tao with? Everybody, who do we want to cultivate Tao with? Yeah, but he is gone. That time he was alive, right? But he knows that he's going to pass away. Yeah.
He's asking who are they going to follow?
So one disciple say, I'm going to cultivate with matriarch. Okay? And then Holy Teacher says, what happens if the matriarch pass away again? Who do you want to cultivate with? Okay? And nobody hear this kind of problem before. So, and then they say, what are we going to say if we were that time people? If a patriarch and matriarch pass away, who do we want to follow with? Who? Then the one guy says, hey, with a patriarch's kids. Okay? And then Holy Teacher said, what happens if my son passes away? Who do you want to cultivate with? This is a very important concept, okay, everybody? So somebody say, hey, with senior person. Okay? And then the Holy Teacher say, what happens if this senior person passes away? Who do you want to cultivate that with? Everybody? Do you know this is a serious problem? Right? Okay? And somebody say, hey, with somebody senior. Okay? Again. And they say the senior person passed away. Who do you want to cultivate with? And somebody say, with transmitter. All right. Holy Teacher say, what the patriarch say, what happens if the transmitter passes away? Everybody. What happens if the transmitter, they all pass away? Who do we want to cultivate with? Huh? Senior lecture? No, somebody say introducer and the guarantor. And Holy Teacher said, what happens if the introducer and the guarantor, they pass away too? They die too. So what happened? And then disciple says, oh, who should we cultivate with? They ask the Holy Teacher. Please tell us, come on, quick. Tell us quickly. All right. So our Holy Teacher, the last second, before he passed away, he said, no matter who you follow with, it's wrong. The person, okay? You follow person, it's wrong. You have to follow a Buddha nature, because Buddha nature will tell us what is heaven want. Match the heaven's willing. That's why we need to cultivate Tao. We know what the heavens want us to do. We will never go wrong. Right? Serious. Sometimes we all human beings. We are not 100% always right. Correct? Right? So we got to know a lot of heaven's meaning. We have to study the scriptures from saints. We have to study, if you like a Bible, you study Bible. You like a sutra. All of the answer inside there, or Confucianism. The more we learn, the more we know, the more we know what God wants us to do. All right? So never follow a person. But when he is right, we have to listen. If he is not right, cannot listen. Even teacher says, when saints say something wrong, because our last story, the big testing for the leader, right? This is a patriarch and matriarch testing. So very hard. It may not be happen to us because we are not that high position. So their testing is very tough, right? But again, like a drink the wine in Japan, in the Dharma class, the teacher say, hey, come on, Japanese like the beer, right? Hey, let's cheer up, toast. Yes. And a lot of people just drink the beer. Then teacher says, you guys don't have a wisdom. You cannot say break your vow because the vegetarian vow says no wine too, right? So when I ask you to drink a wine, you have to think, is that right thing to do? We got to have when we cultivate Tao, we got to have a wisdom. Just like 17th Patrick had the testing for the 18th Patrick and Magic, ask them to eat meat. Cannot, right? And a lot of Taoist members, when they get sick, first thing the doctor suggests, hey, you are vegetarian, you are malnutrition, so you got cancer, okay? You have to eat a lot of protein. You have to eat meat. Should we eat meat? If we make a vegetarian vow, don't do that, because that break the vow to heaven. That's terrible. A lot of protein not necessarily come from animal. It comes from the nuts. A lot of plant they do have. Yes.
What is the answer to the question? Who do you cultivate now with?
Your Buddha nature.
Buddha nature, okay.
Heaven's willing. That's why we have to study scripture in the attend a lot of classes so we understand better. Okay. So thank God. If I say something not good, and I ask for sense forgiving and everybody's correction. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.